lot of excitement from our analysts about some of these heroes, but here at the casting desk, we have a lot more excitement for one hero specifically, don't we, Avery?
Oh, this ATF Mars is always enjoyable.
Come on, man. That's not what I was setting you up for.
It's Bone Daddy.
It's Bone
Here,
Daddy
boy.
time.
Oh, he's here to harvest some bones. Unfortunately, he already has it unlocked, so it's actually not that hype. But
You also can't harvest bones in a private lobby.
yeah, but you know, it's the principle of it. Look at that set of eyes, man. Those are the eyes of a man who has been out there harvesting the bones in these public lobbies, grinding this Arcana for a chance to convince his coach to pick this garbage can of a carry. And he's gotten that chance. AUI, he has been taken for a ride here as Skeeter manages to somehow convince a two-time CI winner to pick this hero.
God, this
boy.
hero sucks. Or at least in the hands of my co-caster here, Avery, when we were playing all these party queue games, that hero sucks.
The hero, okay. I'm not a carry player, so that's,
that's true. That's true.
Don't be hating on a hater. But second of all, okay, the hero is not the greatest carry of the patch, and he doesn't have like the greatest matchup versus Slark, but he can sometimes wear out these long fights and get into that late game and just become so problematic. I think the hero thrives when he can play a tempo game with skeletons and like Armlet Deso. I think that meta for him, he looked the best. Like when Ame was playing him at TI-10, for example, he was just going Armlet Deso, Roche is dead at 15. You're like, the hell is happening in this game? Is this a lone druid? This meta, I think, is way slower for the hero. Be interesting to see what Skeeter goes, but hey, if he goes the Bloodthorn,
no,
you're
not
in there,
the
dog.
Bloodthorn.
You are in there with the Bloodthorn Bone Boys, just hacking them down.
Don't call them Bone Boys.
It is some scary deeps coming out from this carry. So that is what I would like to see going forward.
For those of you guys who don't know what he's referencing here, the Bloodthorn, you pop it on somebody when they have skeletons on there, and they're taking that extra 60 damage for every skeleton hit.
It's a lot.
So
it's actually a lot.
It is a lot of damage in a very specific scenario.
I think it is. I think it is a viable way to play the hero. I'll put it out there, but I don't know if we're going to see it. So I think Skeeter's items will determine a lot of how Falcons play this game because they can just push the lanes in with skeletons, Lesh, and like ATF taking a bunch of waves and kind of play for some later timing. But overall, I kind of like what OG have because I think this Io Slark is pretty uncontested, right? You're just playing Io Slark. If Slark gets Mage Slayer, if he just runs in, he has the extra sustain from Io. I don't see a lot of heroes standing there fighting him. I'm still not convinced by this Leshrac Slark matchup.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Leshrac because it's a hero that was dead the previous patch, and then Mage Slayer got a little nerf. Leshrac got a pretty decent buff, one of the bigger buffs of a patch, of a B patch anyway. And all of a sudden, we've had this hero picked up 3 or 4 times now. In this tournament. It seems like it's going to be here to stay, but I can't imagine that it's actually a good answer to Slark anymore just because Mage Slayer is part of Slark's build.
I still think Mage Slayer dumps on this hero.
Yeah.
There's just no way around it. You don't want to buy some early BKB. Bloodstone's a little better for you. You know, the mana regen, some extra damage on the early Edict explosions, but overall, this hero still suffers from the same things, which is you're playing into a heavy Mage Slayer pipe meta where heroes get very high EHP very fast, and you have mana regen problems on this hero. That was the other big concern. It's like, okay, you're getting some of that through this Yule's Bloodstone helping you a bit more, but you just run out of mana. You go in the fight, you use all your mana. You run out of it, and then heroes are half HP. What do?
Yeah. Which is where the buff in the recent patch played heavily into all these Lesh players going, oh, I can pick the hero again because now the ultimate costs 20 mana less. Used to cost 70 per second, now it costs 50 per second at level 1, right? That's a massive difference in how long your ultimate's going to be lasting in these fights, right?
It helps. It definitely helps. So, of course, we're going to see the Lesh spammers bring this hero back. Maureen is a big Lesh spammer.
Yeah, well, it's only been working out for the Chinese players so far. The third player who picked up the Leshrac so far in this tournament, you would know him as a Lesh player, as a Lesh spammer, Quinn.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So he played earlier.
They lost that game, though.
Well, I mean, that's justice. Can only push karma so far before it strikes back. We'll see how the hero does over this tournament. I'm not convinced at the start of this event, but by the end I might be, right? I also feel like this is a hero that has to have been scrimmed with a bit. Probably had decent results in scrims, because I don't think it would have just popped back in here on its own. So if players are feeling it, then yeah, I mean, bring it back. We'll see how hard it can scale.
Now,
Ari's having a good lane.
For all of these heroes that you have had problems with in the last patch. Spear into a bit of damage. Oh, Tomato's not backing down. He knows he's got the IO coming in with full heals. Just fully trusts in Seb and the trade that eventually he'll back out of, but he stole some stats on his way, so as long as nobody dies, he's going to be feeling all right. The another hero that you've had some serious hate for, Crystal Maiden.
I mean, look at it.
You talked to me about the pillars of what makes a good hero.
I know.
From a professional standpoint, and you said CM stood. You needed, like, you said 3 or 4 things, and she had 1, maybe 1.5.
Oh, look at the spear back, though. Some decent damage. Gonna have to break the tether. Tomato's suffering on this lane. Before I get into the Crystal Maiden hate, it's coming, don't worry. I mean, this is a classic ATF situation. Double Bracer, early stats rush with the regen, just abuse the hell out of the CS board in the regen department and build an advantage where the carry just can't enter the lane. This is an IO regen lane that is suffering heavily in terms of the trades just going ATF's way. That's why they first pick his hero, man. If you can't answer it on first pick, then you can't answer it at all.
Yeah.
And then you're just at a disadvantage. And as much as I like the IO Slark in this game because I think it's conceptually a little unanswered, if your early game is bad because your lane sets you back on multiple fronts, and then your lanes are getting shoved in, it might be hard to find those fights.
Toss back under the Firefly, gets out of the flames though for a little bit. Whisper's still going to be able to run him down though for first blood, and Skeeter does have a lot of sticky napalm stacks. Whisper though is not going to keep going for the dive. Wisely will back up and reset. They already kind of did some good work there. Brought the net worth a little bit more even because it was going the way of Falcon.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't feed first blood with Crystal Maiden, I mean, really playing the hero. It's just kind of how it works. Assume that's going to happen. Rune is going to get denied, and yeah, you're going to take a lot of damage for this.
BZM has to turn and fight. He already used his mobility to get in, has no way out. So as a result, Malrine will pick up that kill. So he's effectively 1 mid. They got that kill in top, but it, you know, net worth wise, still going the way of Falcons. It seems just lanes, and you combine winning lanes with the pressure that Leshrac Wraith King can put on you.
Yeah, look at this mid tower. It's gone. It is absolutely gone. Level 3 Edict. This is also something I think is interesting about this hero because he suffers the magic damage, but of course Edictus is one physical component.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see more people play this build and utilize it against not only the towers in the early game, but just you get a lane advantage and you have Edict. That team fight is a lot scarier. That spell got buffed. An extra 4 points is not a bad, 10-15% damage buff on an early spell that it's just debilitating in the open areas when you're stuck on him. You don't have a creep wave. He just mows you down. This hero is a lawnmower in these early skirmishes. And that might be enough to push him over the edge of, okay, he has a little suffering against, Pipe Mage Slayer in the later fights. But again, if you don't get there on even footing, who gives a damn? And right now, Malrine has set himself up beautifully to just run this early game over. He's created 1,000 net worth differential off that mid lane, up 20 CS. That is a huge advantage the Falcons could take care of. Of course, their suffer in the laning phase was, the Bone King up here against Whisper, but he's just gonna go jungle. I mean, that's where this hero thrives, is saying, okay, yeah, my hero's trash, I'm gonna go jungle, but hey, the jungle's also trash, and then I can absorb the jungle trash into me.
I can become a giant trash heap of a hero. Well, he is gonna be found here. Okay, does get grabbed. And Seb gonna put himself in front, slowed him down.
Centaur stomped.
And it's a good thing that he didn't pick up level 6 and didn't level up his reincarnation because he probably would have died 2 times. So they get the pick off on the carry despite him just being able to default to the jungle.
I just realized this hero's it's the only hero in the game where he has an ult that saves you from death that you actively don't want to use. Like,
yeah.
No, I'd rather just die. Like,
yeah.
Please just let me die and let me save my spell for later. Well, Falcon's going to try and abuse the fact that this tower's dead, gives them the rune advantage. So shield rune into Malrine's pocket. He's going to invade, take aggressive stacks, create openings for the supports to, get some extra levels, get aggressive wards. This is a lot of advantage in map control going in this mid and off lane for Falcons right now. They can transfer it into this bottom tier 1. You're going to close off a lot of the space Tomato wants to be able to... I mean, again, that's a stack he wants to take. He's not getting anything right now. Malrine is just cleaning house. This is an early game concern for OG because they have a lineup that wants to get into that mid game in a good spot. be able to take those fights.
Yeah, if this 5-man starts rolling at some point for Falcons, is there anything OG can really do to stop it? I feel like there's like 2 or 3 heroes are going to get caught in arena and they're just going to get demolished by Leshrac.
I think Rubik's the wild card. This is a really good Rubik game.
Okay.
I mean, you're against... I mean, the Mars one, you know, in theory, the Mars one's 0, but that's not always true if you get insta-lifted or something. But between Bane, CM, and Lesh, you can't really ask for a better Rubik game in competitive. Every spell that those heroes throw out is going to be great in the fight. So I think Ahri is like the real teamfight wildcard. He could prove very problematic in the straight 5-on-5s. And the other flip side is like you have this night vision battle between Bane and Slark. Traditionally, Slark out night visions everything in these types of battles because he also has passive. But Bane is one of these heroes that leverages the night vision really well.
It's a very awkward point here. Falcons were putting the pressure on bottom lane and then smoked back to mid, but they were going to be running into the Primal Beast, tankiest hero in the game, combined with an IO who could just relocate him out. So it wasn't clear what they could actually accomplish with this smoke, and as a result, they're just kind of sitting around. Fortunately, Leshrac is always able to take this space and farm very efficiently, but
it's a couple power runes he didn't get to use, though. I think OG are happy with this exchange. They just want to get the IO to his mech. They want to get the Primal to his Blade Mail. That's probably the big one. You're talking about the 5-on-5. I mean, it's a great Blade Mail game. His Primal just charges in with his strength gain, pops that thing. A lot of uncontrolled damage going out. It's going to be an annoying target for Falcons to go on, especially since their heroes probably don't want to buy too early of BKBs here.
Yeah.
You're looking at just fighting items across the board. It's going to be early Kaya into Bloodstone for Malri, and it's going to be a Yules for ATF, so... His Blade Mail is going to be obnoxious. I guess you could use it, you could sleep it. You have some tools, but the stacks are continuing to go out as well. I feel like this is just going to transfer into a pretty heavy farm game for Falcons. I think they got a little bit of what they wanted out of that Lesh, but their initiation just isn't really there if you're not going to rush the blink on the Mars. So
you don't think they're going to try and close the game out quickly like Gaming Gladiators would?
No, I just don't. I don't think this team really plays to like rush, you know? They just play methodically. I mean, it's like that old Tundra mindset, I think, that's stuck in. You just get your items, you take the fights with your items. You only need 2 good team fights to win a game of Dota. You take them at the right points.
Okay.
But it will mean OG get into this mid game in maybe a better spot than like some of those more aggressive teams would have let them. Because like this tier 1 tower bottom's still up, right? I mean, this is a tower that could have died at any point in this early game. You bring the Lesh there. I don't think OG are taking that fight. Especially when they didn't have the Rubik 6. Now they have it up.
Skater's going to make his move, abandoning the safe lane finally to go and join the rest of Falcons here at bottom lane, take that part of the jungle while his team takes the tower. They'll trade things off, though. So it's not like OG is really losing anything out.
Yeah, he will not get that steal.
No,
that's
not against Amar.
That's your first try. You just gotta try him once. Maybe he catches you sleeping, you know?
Yeah.
So I think Amar probably would have kicked himself from the team if he let a spell go here.
Blade Mail's out.
Ooh.
Not quite enough to get the kill, and now he's going to be in some serious trouble. They go for the relocate, though. You can see Amar was preemptively trying to catch him with the spear, but Seb held on to the tether for quite some time.
They were both effectively pump faking that.
Yeah.
And ATF bought the bait there. Seb giving his old teammate some moves and some gold.
1,000 of your kind have fallen.
Ultimately still gets a kill out of the situation for Falcons, up 2K now.
And that's Yule's done for ATF. I mean, he is the most farmed hero on the map. This is another interrupt for the charge and the tether in. You can catch the Slark, set him up. It's going to be pretty nice this game.
It's also an insane amount of mana regen. He's got a Crystal Maiden and a Yules on Mars.
He's got 6 running right now. It's like more than the Rubik, right?
Yeah.
He's just going to be pushing waves. That's what I'm saying. This Falcons lineup, they can always just shove waves this game. And there's not much OG can do about it because their heroes just don't shove them back nearly as fast. You have Lesh, the Skelly Boys, and this Mars running around. Your lineup wants to be picking people off. That's generally what Batrider Slark want to do. Hit those nighttime points and just start picking heroes off.
Yeah. Your Primal Beast also wants to do that, but he's probably your best lane shover. In that regard, they're going to catch crit here with the Invis. Did not get off.
He's chilling.
That is very awkward.
I mean, level 2
Definitely
brains
should've been
have
killed.
just not that much damage. He's a tanky boy, benefit of Bane. But that'll be BKB done for Whisper. That is very fast here. He was eyeing Blink earlier, but he decides he just wants to BKB run in and, I mean, what do you do versus it? You have to grip him. And if you grip the bat, it opens up the fight for BZM. Because that's what this Bane pick was really there for. It was like to shut down the charge in from the Primal.
Sure.
There's not much you can do about the grip, but if you are forced to grip Arrow Adder or defensive sleep, maybe try and save off that, it gets a lot trickier. This is a very early BKB, but that is also something that, if you're OG, you need to get something out of it. Malrina very deep.
Yeah, way too deep, in fact. Pulled back almost into his tier 2. They're going to relocate on top of it, so if anybody tries to save Malrine, but of course there's going to be someone around, they're going to catch Snake King out as well.
That was way too greedy. I mean, he's having a great game, but
I'll take that.
there's no way OG are just going to let him sit there. And it'll hit 15 minutes, so that is nighttime. Mage Slayer done, BKB done. This Leshrax's impact just got negated by a large margin in the 5-on-5. And you have the sustain from the IO, so OG are pretty much happy to take any fight they're together on. And level 4 Edict stolen by the Rubik. You're also going to have this Shroud on the Primal. I mean, this is my issue with the Leshrac. Can you get through these periods in a game where these like 2 or 3 big defensive magic items come out? And you just don't have anything to... You're buying Kaya for plus 8%. You know? I mean, congrats. You're sealing holes in the ship with duct tape. Does actually work pretty well, but...
Duct tape does fix a lot of things, yeah.
Not
Duct
if they're
tape,
bullet holes and
WD-40
they get reshot, you know? It's going to be Glimmer for Sebas. I mean, there's just... Everybody's building a magic resist item. And there's not much else to punch through it on the side of Falcons either. It's only the Wraith King.
Yule Scepter trying to set things up here on Tomato and going straight for the IO first. Easily kills him. Tomato is going to try and get a pounce away, but grabbed by Crit with Fiend's Grip, and they should be able to get the kill on the 2 of them. Great gank from Falcons.
The Fairy heads up. Grab at the end. Net both of them. Early drums on Snake King paying off. And you know, I was questioning, like, what is Skeeter going to go this game? He went Blade Mail of all items. Very peculiar. So we're going to replay this. Yeah, this is the power of Arena. I mean, like you said, there's not much on the side of OG that really answers ATF just running in and locking people down. And they have a plethora of stuns in this lineup. So you really have to think about where you're dropping that Slark ult, when you're dropping the Depth Shroud later. But Blade Mail Bone King.
Bone King.
This is like an Eternal Envy build or something. This is crazy.
It is not that weird.
It's
He's up against Primal Beast, Batrider,
like,
and even Slark throws around Dark Pack damage.
okay, so the problem is like you're building Blade Mail to jungle here. Because he's going Blade Mail Radiance. So you're building Blade Mail and literally saying, I'm not going to take a fight with it until like 25 minutes, you know? Blade Mail is not that great of like a scaling item, and it's definitely not a great farming item. I don't know if I buy this one. I mean, I've seen some crazy Wraith King builds, but this one is... This one might be a little too much for me. We'll see if it works.
You're really describing this as... Oh, smoke up, smoke on smoke.
That night vision.
That night vision from the Bane is going to give them that little bit of heads up they need to be able to back away. BZM reaches out and does manage to grab the Bane. Meanwhile, Tomato engages. They have the Arena going on out. He's laying into Malrine, but Malrine has that fresh Bloodstone, and he's more than strong enough to stay inside, and the Arena will keep the Slark to his grave. Now, BZM and Whisper need to try and get out of here. Good Yule Spear combo. BZM sliding on through into the river. He's trying to get out while Whisper's going to be left behind.
For your bones.
Blade Break trying to push him back a little bit.
Look at him go.
Yule Scepter is coming up soon. Oh,
He's
BZM's
walking.
actually going to run interference here, trying to go back in. It's going to be the Mars who dies thanks to Ari stealing away that Frostbite. Now the charge back in with Yao coming in with the relocate, trying to help out BZM as he glits his claws onto Malrine once again. But you have to watch out. This Leshrac is still going to be decently powerful. Those hits, though, from the Primal Beast and Ari to clean it up with the Fade Bolt in the end. A TP out barely makes it out alive there from Snake King.
Man.
Things go a little awry there for Falcons due to a buyback from Seb.
I mean, Whisper basically traded his BKB for Crit's life. Crit was so annoying in that entire exchange. It just forced the bat to BKB kill him, and the whole time this is happening, Tomato locked in an arena, doesn't get the reload out. You're just dead. It forces Seb's buyback. That's pretty costly for his game here. But it does get BZM a hell of a fight on the backside, and they are very happy about that because, again, this is your mid-night time window where you want to get these fights to work for you, and that'll complete his defensive magic item with this Eternal Shrouds. This Primal is no joke anymore. These heroes are amping up the EHP and damage right now. This is the period where this Falcons lineup is going to struggle. And I go back to that fight. I mean, I wish we could watch that fight just from Skeeter's perspective.
Okay. Go on.
Because he did a lot of walking, not a lot of talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bone Daddy was struggling. He was struggling there. I think he walked probably 5,000 units and did probably less than 500 damage.
Now that's the stat we need. Not damage per second, but damage per distance.
I mean, he walked from Dire Jungle to Radiant Triangle, and then the second there was an IO buyback, he just ran and ran all the way back to the side of the map. That was his team fight.
So you're saying it would have been better if he had, what? Rushed the Radiance faster, gone the Blink Dagger Armlet Death route?
A different hero.
A different hero.
No, it's just at this point in the game is like, how do you have impact? Now he has Radiance, right? So now if you're walking around, like, that's why you buy Radiance on this hero.
So when you're walking, you're burning?
Blade Mail dissuading Tomato's aggression. He did not know where that came from. He's gonna walk it off. Do a walking of his own here. I mean, the Radiance is definitely like, you want to hit this timing if you're Falcons and use it well.
Yeah.
Wraith King is not
Tomato doesn't know he is spotted right now. Gets a pounce away, but they catch him inside the arena. Now the relocate. He spears him away. And he couldn't get the tether. Still, though, Tomato might be okay. He does have his shard, so he's going to be sitting inside of that one for a little bit. Frostbite catches him, a follow-up stun with a Dark Pact to pounce. Landing out of the Crystal Main, he's away, but his team may be in trouble. A spear into the Rubik, trying to focus him down. Gets popped. Whispers up next. Malrine coming in. Might be able to burn him out. It does manage to get the Batrider in time. Tomato is getting some stacks here, but he has to hop away for a second time. BZM, Big Daddy BZM is right in the middle of all of these heroes. He's got a lot of HP, but there's too many heroes for him to fight by himself. He's got nobody to help him anymore. That's going to be a wipe of 4. The Slark lives after going down to half HP like 3 different times in that fight. 0 for 4, though, to the favor of Falcons.
And Skeeter gets his revenge. I mean, that is a fight where he does the walking and the talking. He gets the damage done with this Radiance just burning the entire fight. Heads up shield crash from Amar that breaks, like, it breaks Seb trying to get that tether off at the last minute because it pushed him out of range. That was brutal here. You're a very different type of setup here for OG if you can get that off. And then a spear to cancel this Rubik stolen ult. I mean, ATF just doing everything in this fight, man. He ends up with a triple kill, the most damage done by the Lesh, but a lot of that is just ATF setting up these kills for him. And then you get these Enfeebles going in. I mean, this is where Bane shines, right? You get like 2 or 3 Enfeebles off in a fight. You're just debilitating, man.
Yeah.
This hero is a problem if you cannot get on top of him. And right now, you're looking at a lineup from Falcons that has 3 major frontline problems for you to deal with in order to get on this main Bane. That is where these heroes thrive. Because you can just wait out the BKB from the bat. You can wait out the Slarkle. And your frontline is not going to die. Maybe one of them dies, but entirely, there's no way. And that backline jump is not there because you did not rush a bat Blink. You did not rush like an Ag Slark here.
I will say, from that last fight, definitely felt a lack of impact from the core Batrider. He's got Shiva's BKB. We even saw him, like, he was standing there with the BKB on. Malrine came from behind, and I think he got ripped up by the Diabolic Edict.
This hero really suffers against Bane. Both the Enfeeble and the Grip just destroy him. And
another catch from Amar.
This is a 3-on-5. Tomato's going to poke here, but...
Whisper, time for him to ensure 1 kill.
All right, Falcons just give up the control. I mean, this is for Roche. You got to keep these fights in mind. Would not be surprised to see OG try and force it, but they also kind of lack the single target Roche damage as well.
Going through the portal to the other side of the map where the Wraith King is, but he's already farming his way back, so they're just going to try and deal with the pressure that is on lanes.
And Ahri did get a Mars spell,
Radiant's middle
so
tower is under attack.
note that down.
You got Spear?
No, I mean, you guys,
Well, who the hell cares?
well, I mean, I don't want to say
Are
it's
you
embarrassing,
expecting
but-
him to bulwark after every
Yes.
God's rebuke?
Yes. This is the
No.
This is a Mars. It is a Mars. You know, it is his hero, his level 30.
Tomato and Seb going to be caught here. Split Earth lands onto Seb. And Tomato, as many stats as he steals, it is just not really putting a dent in these heroes. He even managed to get the TP canceled here. It's going to be enough to chase him down. Dark Pack trying to get up to the high ground, out of vision, but blocked out. Too many heroes around. Another successful gank on this Io Slark combination.
And I actually like that Skeeter took this Wraith King talent. That was the one thing I was playing around with. I think his talent's pretty underrated. I guess it's switched a bit in like recent metas as Octarine done for ATF. His cooldowns are off the charts. We will not catch through it. But like the extra
You
stun-
wanna actually name the talent you're talking about?
Yeah, so you get an extra stun. It's 2-second stun. I think it matters a lot on this hero because he only has a limited amount of time to hit you. Anytime you can boost that up, it's nice. Like the extra skeleton damage just doesn't change the fight, but an extra second of stun, especially where a lineup where you have this amount of stuns that you can chain.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Every time your stun duration goes up, it makes all your other stuns better. And they have a lot they can throw in there. You're getting Enfeebled, you're getting Speared, you're getting Yules, you're getting Lesh stunned, you're getting Nova'd, you're getting Frostbitten. Once that BKB is out, you are in trouble. I feel like OG are in a situation where they need to make this Batrider net worth count. Like, he needs to find a good core target, drag him in, and set the fight up like that. And they're also waiting for this BZM BKB. It is finished and flying out. Is it in time?
Dropping the freezing field just to try and finish up this Roshan faster, but it is a no contest here for OG.
And Lesh is a great Aegis user. At the end of that fight, we did see this Lesh. He was running low on mana. That's one of those situations where if you can survive, 1,000, 2,000 more DPS, you're okay. 3-man arena got stolen though.
Ahri
Caught
does
the
manage to
sleep.
get off his own, but Skeeter has jumped past it into a Mars' arena, and now they're going to be slamming him, actually, as Tomato and BZM are going to turn back into Skeeter. See if they can pop this reincarnation. Not able to do so. Don't want to chase too far, that's for sure, but Whisper is now here. He can catch up to some of these heroes. BZM pop of the BKB, chasing after the supports. Maureen is very strong, though, and it's hard for them to be able to fight around this hero. Whisper's still trying to finish up this reincarnation, but so far in the back,
So
BZM went deep for this Crystal Maiden kill, and he is all by his lonesome now.
Another missed reload by Seb. He just could not get the range on because he was pulled so deep off the spear back. And he's going to come back in the world of pain. Is Ahri also going to get clean? Man, ATF is just causing them problems in the fight, man. Even with a stolen arena that stalled a lot of that out. Yeah, there is a tip well deserved. He has made Seb's game near impossible, it feels like.
Yeah, surely Seb, I know Seb likes to talk some trash and rile some people up and stuff, but I feel like the one person you do not tip early on in a game is Amar.
And
you don't tip this guy. He's going to do everything he can to ruin your game.
And if there's one guy in the world who should know that,
It should be.
it's Seb.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't care. Okay, you should tip him here, though. This is a good tip if you can tip him. No tip. No.
But he's not even involved in the kill.
That's why you tip him. It's...
Nice save there from Tomato. Let's see if it actually works, though.
Where is he keeping? Why was
Nobody had a stun or what?
Is under attack.
Why was that so long? Okay, I mean, I don't know how he got out there, but sure. And that is a nice kill, a nice escape. I feel like this fight is dependent on you finding Mars and taking him out of the fight, or at least putting him in a position where he has to throw bad spells, open the fight up more for these reloads and tether saves and stuff.
Yeah,
Because
but how do you
Way
do
too
it? I mean,
problematic.
it's a Mars. Do you really want to lasso him and pull
Yeah.
him into your team?
yeah,
But you're probably not going to kill him. And then you're just putting yourself in a position where you're like, okay, now we're all going to get
but you have
trapped
a better.
inside the arena.
Do you have a better way to take the fight? I don't think you do. And I think if you give him this Mars and your idea is to pick Batrider Primal into him, maybe get this Primal Ags later at some point, go for the break play. Your play is to lasso and burst this Mars or make his team fight really annoying. That's the point of this Bat matchup. If you're picking the Bat and the Mars, then you're saying well, I don't want to go on him, guys. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, what, you know, I don't know.
I feel like there was a little bit of you recollecting some of your playing days there. We drafted this concept, guys, and you don't want to do it. What are we doing here?
It happens. It happens more than you think. But then you have to get creative or find like a unique fight on positioning or better itemization or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see when he has the Aghanim Scepter. That I can...
Yeah, I think that's when this lineup comes together. It's like you lasso, pull this Mars in, you break him, and then Slark gets a bunch of stacks. I think if you pull this Mars in, though, it's not a situation where he has to instantly die. It's just you can build up some Slark stacks, and you make Falcons go into you. You make the Lesh and the Wraith King jump into you, and that's, in theory, a way better fight for your Rubik and your Io than trying to chase deep into, like, the back line of Falcons, which just seems impossible.
I mean, PZM certainly showed how impossible that was for Seb to follow him.
Yeah,
he did that.
No chance. No chance of getting that reload. And if there's a player in the world that's going to get that reload, it's probably Seb. Like, you can't flame the guy. You can't go in after this game and be like, yo, why didn't you get your reload, man?
Yeah, wait.
Level 30, 2-time TI winning an IO. What's your problem?
Seb, you need to play a little bit more like Crit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Play like Jerax.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, Seb could do some personal coaching with Jerax. For his eye. He went to Sanj, actually. So this Ags on the Primal is very delayed. It just feels like he doesn't need it, or maybe it's just not enough value. Because this Mars build is also... It's a utility Mars build. So the problem is, like, you're breaking a utility Mars. It doesn't even feel that great, right?
This Slark is having a rough time out here. He is... Because he couldn't go the... Or he didn't. Shouldn't say
he's gonna have to...
Couldn't, but...
Is he dead?
Yeah, he could...
Yeah, he's dead.
He could maybe have popped his Shard, BKB, TP out, right? That's the play he could have made.
Yeah, he had to BKB the Yules and then Insta-Shroud TP.
Well, now Seb has joined him for yet another death. This duo is just tied together in death.
Man, this Bane is looking pretty good this game. Like, we can see why Falcons like to play it on Crit. It's a very unconventional 4. It's not a hero we see a lot of other teams or players playing, but when you're confident that your front line can hold, this hero becomes very problematic as the game scales.
Yeah.
And he can just buy some crazy items. You can get the Aethelins, you can get the Ags. Everything just becomes worse and worse. And he is one of the best catch heroes. Though Sleep will get stolen and never used.
Ahri throws his life away in an attempt to save BZM. But BZM's still going to be speared back.
The catch is just out of control here.
He's got BKB, but
he got it
he's actually able to get away far enough in time. Slamming back. Look at that damage. So much AoE damage. He just demolished them. Now they do have some extra lives, so they're ultimately still going to lose out here. Tether comes back in. BZM, frostbitten up, not going anywhere, stuck inside the arena once again. That arena proves to be just a graveyard of heroes.
Aggressive Wind Waker.
Time again. Push him back with a flame break. Make sure they can't jump Ahri. Make sure no one else dies here. But Falcons are hitting their stride now. 15K up, and Elena Barracks with ease, probably 2.
Yeah, the armor items came through. You had the Shivas on the Lesh, AC for Skeeter. I don't know. You just don't have the damage to punch through. And the IO save just doesn't even feel impactful. You're saving heroes straight back into a world of pain. I feel like ATF is the only player I've seen aggressively Wind Waker just for the mental assertion.
Yeah.
And they're still stacking. Man, I mean, Crit, I don't know if Crit knows he's not on Shopify or Belly anymore. Yo, dog.
You could take the weights off, Crit.
Yeah, you don't have to stack for our tour anymore, man. You just go in the game, bro. I don't know. I think some of these habits just, they get ingrained in you. It's like 6 years, you just got to do it, you know? Oh, I got to stack.
Do you think after they won the grand finals, he sighed, put down his headset, and he was like, "We'll get him next time, guys." You know, he was just so used to losing grand finals.
No, I think
it's just a habit at that point.
That's probably what Liquid will do if they.
That's true.
Old habits die hard for sure. 10K. I mean, the stacking is good this game, right? I don't think stacking's ever bad, and he's one of those players who's always done it efficiently, but it is funny. I will make fun of it. I will laugh at it. As a quick DC here. And OG, yeah, they're in trouble this game. Because this is a late game lineup from Falcons that is... It's scary, man. It's scary because this is just the struggle of Batrider in the current meta. His scaling is just whack. No way around it, man.
Does Zero not have any good, like, 25 talents or anything?
I don't think his hero has anything good past like 20 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Like his late game in his team fight is you blink lasso, pull someone out, and your team kills it.
Right.
If that happens, the hero is annoying because he can do that on very low cooldown reliably. But he doesn't do any damage of his own. He's not a threat. These heroes are just gonna ignore him. Like his 20 and 25 talents are kind of good, but
he's gonna get caught out here. Spear into the arena.
Yeah, you're gone.
That trick made a little bit easier, and you know Amar Mars is going to put it to the full use.
I don't know. Playing against this guy is just so demoralizing too, dude. It's like he just first picks this hero. And he does this to you, you know?
Yeah, Tomato has to. There it is. He BKBs, ults, TPs out. That's his play in case the Bane is around, but he wasn't even there. They're pushing out bottom lane. Skater tips Tomato. He's like, yeah, we weren't even really going on you. That was just Amar doing his thing, and now you're probably going to be losing a second lane of barracks because you don't have BKB to fight us.
Skeeter's flying in his own BKB right now.
There's a spear back out of the base even. BZM in some trouble. Has to use his BKB once again. Going to be putting that ultimate to use, but he needs the heal and the rest of the BKB to back out. Falcons lose nothing for this. They got to buy back out of the Batrider and can still conceivably keep going.
Whispers economy.
They're going to go for it. They're going to catch Seb immediately. Spears him. They have the reveal thanks to the spear, and they'll actually claim BZM right next to him. Offensive Wind Waker once again flying around. OG just do not have the damage, and it looks like they really never will at this point.
Slark just can't build any stacks, man. He gets 8 stacks, and then he has to run away because there's way too many stuns on the side of Falcons. BZM is just trying to 1v5, it feels like, and yeah, I mean, give him a tip on the way out. Old friends reuniting in this game and made quick work of it here. 35 minutes. That game just never felt like OG built any momentum. Even in the early lane.
Tomato